This is Pam Pederson with WFIT's Linking the Arts, and I'm visiting in the studios today with Lydia Joyner. Now, Lydia's an author, and your book title is Little Wild Thang. Are you the Little Wild Thang?
I am most definitely the Little Wild Thing.
So you were a foster child here in Brevard County, and that's what this is, volume 1 of 3, about your experiences. Tell me about the Little Wild Thing.
Well, Little Wild Thing, I started out when I was in junior high, and I received 6 banker boxes of documents, and I had poured those documents on the floor trying to see and understand about my life and how I had ended up where I did, because I was homeless by the time I was 16 years old. And I couldn't get through the files, and so I put them away, and I ended up moving to New York City, and that's where I got the real courage and bravery to start putting my files in, chronological order so I could understand what happened with my life. And I ended up working with Columbia University with Lance Wheeler's class. We did a experience called My Sky is Falling, where we took the United Nations through an experience so we could provoke emotion in them so they could see what it's like to be a foster child. And those files that I got, I had all over the ground at the end of the experience, and they just couldn't believe what foster care was, and they didn't have a full conception of what we go through. And I knew from then that I had to put them out in a book. And so I took my diary entries and my foster care files, and I, put it into 3 separate books so I could tell my full story, because there's no way I could have done it in one. So Little Wild Thing is about growing up here in Brevard County, while I'm trying to reunite and rehabilitate my mother that had paranoid schizophrenia. And, we went through a lot of issues such as poverty and homelessness and her addictions. And because she couldn't get better and the community couldn't help her, I ended up in foster care. And she committed suicide by the time I turned 10 years old. And after that, I just was an orphan of the state, went through 4 failed adoptions, and ended up being homeless on my own and graduating high school on my own. And I just thought that, from the time that I was little to now, I haven't seen a lot of change in the foster care system from here all the way to New York City. And so I thought, if I put this together, maybe I can bring change.
And what is the purpose of your book is to bring change, but not just in the foster care system. You want to bring change to the hearts of the foster children, right?
Absolutely. This book it is filled with my will and fire and my imagination to survive. As children, we get stuck in an environment and we don't necessarily have the tools or resources to get out from where we are. And I really believe it's about going beyond the horizon that we have and believing that there is a different world that we can live in. And I hope by the youth reading this that they can see that, you can go through the worst of situations, but the human mind and spirit is very resilient. And if you believe that you can make it through it, there's a whole world for you to explore past that. But you have to really be able to believe and trust yourself that can actually happen.
That your future is not defined by your youth.
DNA is not your destiny.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so you're doing a book signing. This is going to be at the Chandlery Friday, February 12th from 6 to 10 p.m. And the Chandlery is located at 806 East New Haven Avenue. All right, and what is your website?
My website is www.littlewildthang.com, and it's Thang as in Thang.
All right, great. It's such a pleasure to meet you, Lydia.
Thank you so much.